What really happened on the night the Costa Concordia met its icy embrace with the Mediterranean? The Costa Concordia was not just any cruise ship, it was a floating palace equipped with every luxury one could imagine. On the fateful night of January 13, 2012, this remarkable vessel was set to weave through the Mediterranean waters, beginning its voyage from Civitavecchia, Italy. Aboard were over 4,200 souls, each eager for an adventure across the serene seas. As the ship cut through the calm waters, Captain Francesco Schettino made a decision that would forever alter the course of many lives. In a bid to thrill passengers and salute a former colleague, he chose to perform a sail past near the picturesque island of Giglio. This maneuver, though executed in the spirit of showmanship, was fraught with risks. The island of Giglio, known for its scenic beauty, was an alluring sight from the decks of such a majestic ship. However, the proximity required for such a salute demanded precision and an intimate knowledge of the coastal waters, elements tragically underestimated that evening. As the ship approached the island, the festive atmosphere was palpable. Passengers gathered to witness the spectacle, unaware of the impending disaster. This decision, seemingly minor in the moment, was about to set the stage for one of the most heart-wrenching tragedies in maritime history. This risky maneuver marked the beginning of an unforeseen tragedy. Imagine the chaos when a 114,500-ton vessel grazes a rock. It was the evening of January 13, 2012, when the Costa Concordia, a behemoth of the seas, made a catastrophic error. The ship struck a rock off the coast of Giglio Island. The impact tore a massive gash, several meters long, into the ship's hull below the waterline. Instantly, the situation inside the vessel turned dire. Lights flickered and went out, plunging parts of the ship into darkness. The once steady hum of the engine room fell silent, replaced by the sounds of creaking metal and rushing water. For the passengers, the evening's festivities turned into a nightmare. Confusion reigned as the gentle roll of the ship transformed into a dangerous tilt. The crew, initially underestimating the severity of the situation, delayed the evacuation order. This hesitation proved costly. As the ship began to list more severely, panic spread among the passengers. Many scrambled in the dark, seeking life jackets and lifeboats, while others were trapped by the increasingly skewed angles of the corridors and stairwells. In the midst of this chaos, the captain and his officers faced a rapidly deteriorating situation. The damage was far worse than first assessed, and the ingress of water was unstoppable. Communications were hampered, and coordination became increasingly difficult as the ship's systems failed one by one. As water began flooding in, the fate of the Costa Concordia was sealed. In the face of disaster, every second counts. As the Costa Concordia began its perilous tilt on that fateful night, the evacuation process unfolded in a mix of bravery and disarray. The scene aboard was chaotic. Passengers and crew alike scrambled to safety amidst an atmosphere thick with fear and urgency. The launching of lifeboats was critical, yet fraught with challenges. As the ship listed dramatically, many lifeboats became unusable, trapped by the ship's steep angle. Desperate for survival, some passengers and crew were forced to improvise, using makeshift rafts or even leaping into the cold sea, hoping for rescue. Amid this turmoil, stories of heroism emerged. Crew members, putting passengers' safety above their own, guided disoriented and frightened individuals towards safety. There were poignant moments where strangers helped one another, a testament to human solidarity in times of crisis. The role of the Italian Coast Guard was pivotal. They launched a large-scale rescue operation, navigating the treacherous waters to pluck survivors from the sea. Their courage and swift action saved countless lives. Local fishermen, too, became unsung heroes of the night. In small boats, they braved the dark waters, pulling survivors to safety, their intimate knowledge of the seas around them proving invaluable. Yet, for all these acts of bravery, the evacuation was marred by a notable lack of coordination. Confusion reigned supreme. Orders were unclear or unheard over the chaos, and many passengers were left without guidance, not knowing where to go or what to do. The ship's captain and some crew members faced criticism for their handling of the situation, accused of abandoning ship before ensuring the safety of all passengers. As dawn broke, the full extent of the tragedy became apparent. While many were saved, thanks to the concerted efforts of rescuers and the brave acts of individuals, the chaotic evacuation led to tragic losses. Where was the captain when his ship was sinking? On the fateful night of January 13, 2012, As the Costa Concordia was gashed open by rocks off the coast of Isola del Giglio, Captain Francesco Schettino faced a critical test. His actions in the ensuing chaos sparked a controversy that resonated around the world. Instead of marshalling the evacuation and ensuring the safety of over 4,000 passengers and crew, Captain Schettino made the fateful decision to abandon ship. Before the last of the lifeboats had even departed, reports surfaced that Schettino was already ashore, a move that contravened maritime tradition and duty. This premature evacuation not only tarnished his career but also led to severe legal repercussions. He was subsequently charged with multiple counts of manslaughter, causing a shipwreck and abandoning his ship, charges that would lead to a 16-year prison sentence. Captain Schettino's decisions that night would become a central point in the tragic narrative of the Costa Concordia. After the storm, the long road to recovery began. In the wake of the Costa Concordia disaster, the picturesque waters off the island of Giglio were marred by the ghostly silhouette of the half-sunken ship. The immediate aftermath was a frenzy of activity. Rescue teams worked tirelessly not only to aid survivors but also to recover the bodies of those tragically lost. 32 lives were claimed by the disaster, each recovery operation a somber reminder of the night's chaos. The environmental threat posed by the wreckage was monumental. The Concordia held over 2,300 tons of fuel, all at risk of leaking into the pristine waters of the Mediterranean. Emergency measures were quickly enacted. Booms were deployed to contain any potential oil spills, and around-the-clock monitoring commenced to safeguard the rich marine life that thrives around Giglio. Attention soon turned to the daunting task of removing the behemoth from its watery grave. This would not be just a salvage operation. It was set to be one of the largest and most expensive in maritime history. The plan? To refloat the once majestic liner and tow it away for scrapping. The operation, dubbed the Parbuckling Project, was a marvel of engineering. It involved rotating the ship into an upright position using a complex system of hydraulic jacks and cables, a process known as parbuckling. After months of meticulous planning and back-breaking work, the Costa Concordia was finally set upright in a painstaking 24-hour operation. The world watched in awe as the ship, battered and bruised, emerged from the sea. The final phase involved fitting the hull with gigantic steel boxes, known as sponsons, to float the ship and tow it to its final destination in Genoa for dismantling. The Costa Concordia was gone, but its impact on the island of Giglio and the world remained. Every disaster teaches us how to be better prepared for the next. The sinking of the Costa Concordia was a pivotal moment in maritime history, not just because of the tragic loss of life, but because of the sweeping changes it instigated in maritime safety regulations worldwide. In the wake of the disaster, the maritime community took a hard look at how safety could be fundamentally enhanced to prevent such incidents from reoccurring. One of the primary areas of reform was the regulations regarding ship stability. The disaster underscored the vital importance of maintaining a ship's balance and integrity under duress. In response, international regulations were tightened to enforce more rigorous stability criteria. These criteria now ensure that ships are better equipped to handle unforeseen stresses, thereby enhancing the overall safety of vessels across the globe. Additionally, the tragedy highlighted significant deficiencies in evacuation procedures. Prior to the disaster, the evacuation protocols were not as robust or as rigorously enforced as they needed to be. Post-Concordia, a stringent set of regulations was implemented, mandating more comprehensive and frequent evacuation drills. These drills are designed to be as realistic as possible, ensuring that both crew and passengers are well prepared to act quickly and efficiently in emergency situations. The re-evaluation of cruise ship routes also marked a critical change. Routes are now selected with a heightened awareness of potential hazards, and captains are required to adhere strictly to these predetermined paths. This measure not only increases the safety of maritime travel but also minimizes the environmental impact on delicate marine ecosystems. Furthermore, emergency training for crew members has been drastically overhauled. Today, crew members undergo extensive emergency response training, which includes handling a wide range of potential scenarios. This training ensures that every crew member can contribute effectively to passenger safety and crisis management. These sweeping changes have redefined the landscape of maritime safety, turning the bitter lessons of the past into stepping stones for a safer future. The sinking of the Costa Concordia was a harsh lesson, but one that has undoubtedly made sea travel safer.